Good morning, it's Jane with Million Dollar Barbecue. How everybody doing this morning? Look like today is Monday, and I decided to cook me a little breakfast for me and the wife, and drinking me a little Mr. Pill early this morning. I love to drink Mr. Pill. I done kind of slacked off on it a little bit. Give you that little boost. Like I have a friend, his wife drank a 6-pack of Coca-Cola, every day. And she probably weighed maybe about 112 pounds. She haven't never picked no weight up. But let's get to it. What I'm doing this morning, I'm cooking breakfast and have bacon, blue ribbon bacon, and like I said, we get the large pack, and the large pack probably lasts us probably a month, because really on bacon, if you get good bacon, you can cut it in half. You can cut 4 pieces in half, and that's going to give you 8 if that's the way you want to do it. You'll be surprised. It go a long ways. You just don't have to have 8 pieces of long bacon. What you do is cut your bacon in half, and 4 pieces, and that's going to give you 8. I tell you what, you can start saving a lot of money. Okay, and what I did also, I got a few sauces. I'm going to cook these right quick, but I'm going to cut them up first. And also what I got right here, biscuits. You all see a lot of people making biscuits. There's nothing wrong with making biscuits. They look good and they taste good if you get if you have the right recipe. But what I do, I just get me a can of biscuits, have 5 in a can. Don't go down and get 8, 10, if there's only 2 of you, it's just me and my wife. So, I get a can. Most times she gonna eat a biscuit and a half, and I'm gonna eat 2. I hardly ever eat over 2 biscuits. She hardly ever eat over 1 and a half. Okay? So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go on and put my biscuit in. Look here, call myself cutting back on washing my dishes and stuff. Just keep a piece of foil that I'm gonna put in the oven. And what I usually do, I want my oven up, it's saying 455 degrees, but I'm gonna break it down to 350 degrees right quick. Let me see how I'm gonna do this. 350. And most time what you do, I get it real hot and then I break it back down. That way it don't take me, take that long. If I take my biscuits out, I'll wait to get the oven, hot. But I'm ready to rock and roll now. So I'm gonna put these in there right quick. Should take no more than 10 minutes. I was looking at my clock up there. We got Eastern, Central, Western time, and all 3 of them wrong. They run off the battery. I've been too lazy, and my wife said it confuses her. I need to take care of it. Have 1 to take 2 down. But you know what? I'm leaving all 3 of them up there. I'm the boss right now in the kitchen. And I know she's not gonna climb. I'm gonna climb when I get ready to. But she's in the back. She's not hearing me say that. She might hear it later. I'll just tell her I didn't say it. Okay. And also what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put the bacon in. Look how pretty that bacon is. And put it in there. But I was looking the other day, and man, it's ridiculous. A pound of bacon was $18. I mean, $8. Yeah, a pound of bacon was $8.79. So I think that's true. I think I paid $18 for that. All right. Well, I got my biscuits in there. I'm gonna get my eggs. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna use 4 eggs. That's all we use, 4 eggs. Because most of the time we be adding cheese, and the thing cheese do is just give you a bit more. Sometimes we add the tomatoes. I'm going to do 4 right quick and knock it out. So I hope everybody been doing good. Hope everybody had a good weekend. And I had a good weekend. Man, it was fabulous compared to last week. Last week, you know, I did a catering job, and man, it rained. I should have been finished in 12 hours. It took me 19 hours, man. It was ridiculous, and I stressed out because, you know, I have smokers on the outside. I don't have nothing on the inside, you know. And I just cater every now and then, you know, but man, catering is hard work, man. So I just do it every now and then, but I had 10 slabs of ribs, I think it was 8 chicken, and we had, I think about 15 pounds of sausage that weighed more than enough. You know, so much food, man. I mean, meat. It was ridiculous. And like I was telling her, I said, you know, you might as well just do ribs. We bought all the chicken. I mean, hardly anyone ate chicken. And steak ribs, and we still had a whole lot of ribs left. And plus, you know, we made rib tips out of them too. You know, you go buy your whole slab of ribs. Most places, you know, they make their own St. Louis style. What they do is just cut the shoulder off and make them, you know, smaller, and they call them St. Louis style rib, which they are. And they charge you $20-something for them. So I'm gonna put my cheese in there. And what I do, I start off, I just put one piece of cheese, you know, with 4 eggs, not a whole lot. Then I come back and add me 2 or 3 once they almost finished getting cheesy. Okay. But just everything okay, man. You know, we just talking about the economy a whole lot, and you know, it's doing good, but mean that you need to have 2 or 3 jobs because of the inflation. So that can mean the economy is doing good or bad, right? And also, what I got here, I have some nice sausage right here. And I'm gonna make a large breakfast for us 2 this morning. You know what we all want? We just do a little bit to the dogs, or somebody might come over this morning. Okay. And you know, when your sausage, you can cut it, and you know, it can go a long ways too. It just depends on how you cut it. So right here, these pieces right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, one long length. I got 6 out of it, man. You'd be surprised. You put 2 or 3, 2 on them kids' plate on each one, so they might not come back. Once you cook them, you know, once you split everything up, they see what you split up. So they good. Water. I like to make sure I be cleaning up while I be cooking. Okay, on my eggs, you know, I just use garlic powder. I don't use any salt in my eggs. And a little salt, pepper. Put pepper in there, and I got some more seasoning that I love to use also. Where are you at? Oh yeah. I got a little Chef Carmen. I'm gonna use jerk season, a little jerk season in the eggs. And I'm not gonna use any onions and stuff today, tomatoes. It's good enough. Okay. Okay. Well, I might have to use a little bit more of that jerk season from Chef Carmen. Man, it smells so good. All right, let me get my butter for my eggs. Instead of using butter, the only thing I'm gonna use is just, instead of using oil, the only thing we use is just, I just put a little butter in there, that's all you need, you don't need a whole lot. And you know, you got these non-stick pans, they don't take a whole lot, so that means you can cut back on your grease a whole lot. Okay, let's see how my biscuit's doing. Wait a minute, mine ain't right, something keep going off here. I know I did to push the right one. 350. Okay, put it back. Oh, you know what? I had on 450, so I'm gonna put it on 350, but I didn't push restart. Okay. And what I'm gonna do also is, you know, I'm gonna add this cheese right here, and then we'll be ready to. And my biscuits, they just about finished. I put those biscuits in there and never did restart it, and they still cook because I reckon because the oven was 450 or whatever I had on earlier. All right. Make sure, you know, I have my spatula out right here, but make sure this is non-stick. Make sure you know you have a rubber spatula. I have one, but the thing about it, you gotta always buy a new one, just about, not all the time, but this one right here. And what you do, always rub on the end of it. That way, any loose pieces, you know, it'll come off. And just take something and just rub it. Make sure you always kind of rub the end, because now the little black particles fall off. You don't want it to fall off into your eggs. You can learn something every day. All right. Okay, we got that butter ready. And what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna put my sauces back on. I got them cut up. Only thing I did was boil them. I'm gonna put them back on right now, and we just fry them a little bit. So all I'm gonna do is fry them right now, just a little bit. Get some more of that little grease out of it. You know, when you boil your sausage starting off, only thing it does is get a little of that grease. Some people like greasy sausage, but boil them first. You know, sometimes it might take a little. You know, don't take maybe 10-15 minutes. Boil your sausage first, then let them cool off, cut them up, and then you come back and you put them in your skillet. There you go. Do what I did. Just cut them up, put them in the skillet. You know, you got them cut like bacon. So many different things you can do. And you know, if it was, let me see, 3 this morning. If my daughter was over here, that means 1, 2, 3. Everybody gets 3 pieces. No, it's 10 pieces. My wife gets 3. She'll get 3, and I get 4. The king always got to get 4, a little bit more when he's cooking. But when my wife cooking, the queen, she always get more. Okay, I got my sauces on. Let me check my biscuits. Biscuits can be about 5 minutes. I'm sorry if I'm taking up a lot of y'all time, but what I didn't have everything situated like I wanted to. So now, on my bacon, y'all might not be able to see my bacon, man, you know, but what I do is I come back another day and I still take it out and show y'all where it's at. But like I said, I'm running behind on the bacon, and I apologize.
apologize for that.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go it on and get this skillet a little bit hotter. My eggs. How everybody doing in that old stock market? What kind of stocks y'all have? I fooled around and bought me a few Tesla stocks the other day. You know, it just was a few. I had 4, but man, you know, the stock market, man, it went down. I call it crashing the way it did the other day, but really it just went down so many points. And I checked this morning, it's down so many points also. But right now I got 4 stocks. I have a little Tesla, and I fooled around and bought Twitter stock. I bought the Twitter stock because of Elon Musk. You know, I felt like he had to purchase that stock. It might have went way up, but come to find out, whatever's going on, he changed his mind about buying it. Now Twitter's suing him, so he might end up with it, you know. But they finding out Twitter had gave some false information from what I heard, but I really don't know. But I think I bought 100 shares about maybe been 3 months ago when they first announced it, and it went up a little bit, but it dropped back down. So I got Tesla for Twitter, and I have 100 shares of Walt Disney, I believe. And oh yeah, I have some Apple stock, but I have 100 shares of Apple. But you know, I wish I had more, but you know, I can't afford it. You know, just get you 1 or 2 stocks on stock. Start out with maybe about 2 or 3 stocks. I think it was Robinhood. They was giving away, if you sign up with them, they was giving you 1 stock. So that was maybe about a year and a half ago. It's still going on, but I bought 1 stock from them, and go ahead. And I never did add any more to it, but it still was my stock because I'm part of it. I got part ownership in that company. You say part ownership in Ford, and that's my stock. When you say part ownership, anytime you buy stock, you invest in, that means you have part ownership. So that's one thing I know. But I think at the time when they gave me that 1 share, it was $4 and something. It went all the way up to $25. And now I think it's around 15 or 16. So I should have, but who knows? At that time, who knew that Ford was going to go all the way up to $25? Because I did. Okay, like I said, I got a Disney stock, I got Disney, and I had Shopify. And Shopify, I had 10 shares. And I think they went all the way up to $1,400, $1,500. Then it dropped all the way down to $300, and then they had a split. And I think when it split, some kind of way I ended up with 100 shares. I believe I got 100 shares, but that account it's not too good. It ain't looking too good, but I have it. And also I have Chipotle. And Chipotle, man, they've been real good to me. I have 10 shares. That's all I have is 10 shares, I think. But right now it's about $1,500, $1,600. So if you got 10 shares, $1,500. Okay. Look like it's worth maybe 15 times 10. Oh shit, it might be worth about $15,000 maybe. But the way things going, it's kind of funny. When Trump was in office, I don't like the things Trump, did when he was in office, but a lot of people made a lot of money. Biden and right now, I reckon he's doing a pretty good job. But one thing about it, it's not the same. It's a different. Trump get in there, man. It's all about making money. And I know that's one thing I noticed is different from Trump and Biden. That's just my opinion. That's all. I think everything will be all right, but you can't. Start messing with that stock, man. You gotta know what you're doing. Like you see it go down, and you just can't. Go to me. I don't take my money out after you lost $3,000 or $4,000. I did that once before. Next thing you know, the stock went up. And also, my father was living. He had his investments in Merrill Lynch, and my father, he didn't know anything about the stock market. And what I did, I added a little water in my head. You add water in there just to make it fluffy. I'd rather have a little water than milk. You can add milk to it also. But I want to just use a little water. Make it fluffy. And I learned that. I learned to use a little water off the job. The guys, I used to them putting water in, the air. I said, man, what you doing? Oh man, make it fluffy. I said, oh, okay. Hey, you learn something every day, and I used to cook the bacon. Bring 2 packs of bacon in the morning before we start working. And I was putting it up. I said, man, you don't cook yours on top of the stove. I said, no, man. We always, use the oven. When I was at home. My mom, she fried it on top every now and then, but she also used the oven. Man, I ain't never seen nobody use put bacon in the oven. And man, it come out good too. I like it, in the oven to be real crispy. But you put it on, you fry it, it kind of curls up, and it don't cook properly, man. But when it's in the oven, it cooks. I love it cooks properly, man. It cooks nice. Okay, I'm getting all the eggs together right here. So what I did, like I was telling y'all, I put a little cheese in there. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna come back and see, I'm gonna cook that right there. Look how pretty they look after I put that water in there. Okay. All right. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna just put the whole pieces of cheese on there. Just kind of go on top. And once I take it off, it's not going back on the stove. Just cook it right here on this cutting board. Okay, look how pretty the eggs are. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna put the eggs over here on the side. So we good on the eggs right now, and see how all the sauce is coming. It looking good. But like I said, we were talking about stocks a little bit, but I tell anybody, just get you 2 or 3 shares. I got like my little granddaughters. They are good with stock, and I bought them some Ford stock, and now I think one of them still have a Ford, and the other one I think she probably got about maybe 13. But it's good, if they can learn young. But I waited till I got in my 50s, in the company. You got your 401k, but most of the time they run their 401k plan the way they want to sometimes. But now you can buy different stocks compared to when I first got in back in '95. Another thing, that stock market goes up and down. You look in your account, you might have 30,000 in one day, for 1 month, then you look back 2 months ago and you don't have a 6 or 7,000. Now, if you're a young man, that's fine. But you start getting our age, 65, 66, up in age, you gotta make sure you secure your investments, unless you situated where you can play the stock market like that. But a lot of older people not situated to play the stock market, man. If you're not patient, young or old, you have to be patient. If you ain't patient and you just take your money out, you're gonna go broke. You can go broke. My father didn't go broke, but his account went down. I'm going to get my money. And I told him, hey, just leave it in there. No, I'm going to get mine. So he went and got whatever he had in there, and he brought his money home, but he still ended up losing, a whole lot. I think that really bothered him over the years, but he still was situated, but not like he's supposed to have been, but I really think that bothered him, rest in peace over. But he learned, he didn't know anything about it, but from what my mom said, all his friends, the job, they were retiring, and they was going with Merrill Lynch. And when he first started off, he was getting, $500 to $600 from Merrill Lynch every 3 months. And sometimes he got up to $1,200 every 3 months. Then, like when the stock market's going down, it went down, and his account went down. He could not take it. He wasn't used to that, he had him. He'd say, I'm gonna get them people to send me my money, and they sent his money. And my dad never did have anything else to do with investing in Merrill Lynch and different, investment companies, But in the long run, you just have to, set that money aside, and leave it alone. Okay, y'all, let me talk to me. Let me check the biscuits. Okay. They ready to come out, I do believe. Oh yeah, they good and pretty there. All right. So I'm gonna show you all right now. Still got a ways to go on my bacon, and what we probably do next time is do something different. See, they looking good, but got a ways to go. But I'm not gonna keep y'all long. I'm gonna wrap this up right quick, and plate everything. Okay. Then I'm gonna clean up a little bit, and the wire sheaves won't get up until about 12 o'clock. And I'll be up probably 7:38. But it depends on what we have going on. Okay. It's gonna be her plate. It's gonna be mine. It don't take long, cook a little rough if you have everything together. Okay. But what I do, I start off, with the 3 biscuits, but I probably want to eat all 3 of them. But this is the breakfast for me and my wife, This is mine. I have the most, and this is hers. But also we have bacon. But what I do in the morning, I come back, and I'm gonna have the bacon already in there so y'all can see it. And tomorrow I might do some red hot bacon. Hey, this is Jane with $1 Million Barbecue. Y'all go follow $1 Million Barbecue Sauce /cooking. Share, like, and follow. And we appreciate it, man. We're gonna be trying to come on every day and give y'all some good tips on cooking My wife, she's real good. You know, she got good recipes from my mother and her mother. She's good. But this is James with $1 Million Barbecue. Hey, you all have a great day.